Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank both of you for your service and your leadership, and particularly also your families for the sacrifices you've made. We appreciate it. Admiral Locklear, I wanted to follow up on the question that my colleague, Senator Shaheen, asked you with regard to the submarine capabilities of our country, and I believe you said that you are an advocate for greater capabilities for our attack submarine fleet, if that's right.
That's correct.
Certainly, you talked about the importance of the Virginia-class submarine, and particularly with our capability in the Asia-Pacific region. One question I wanted to ask you is, what percentage of your combatant commander requirements for attack submarines are being met?
Well, let me provide you an offline exact percentage,
Sure.
but they're not all being met.
They're not all being met. In fact, last year I think it was about 50% in terms of the combatant commander requirement requests for attack submarine. So I would appreciate an update on that, but my sense is it's probably not much better, or even may not even be any better, maybe lower. So I look forward to those numbers. So we're not meeting all our combatant command requests for attack submarines. And as we look forward to the Los Angeles-class submarines retiring in the coming years, and we are replacing them with Virginia-class submarines, as I look at the numbers, our attack submarines will decline from 55 attack submarines in fiscal year 2013 to, if we go forward, to a low of actually 42 in 2029. So we're seeing a diminishing trajectory, despite the fact I'm very glad that, there was obviously inclusion of 2 Virginia-class submarines productions over the FIDEP. But I'm seeing a disconnect in terms of our needs, not only in the Asia-Pacific region, but this is where I think we see it very much, and the declining capacity we will have under the current predictions for attack submarines. So if we're rebalancing to the Asia-Pacific region, and really, as we've heard today, it's an environment dominated by maritime presence, and how can we justify a 24% decrease in the size of our attack submarine fleet? And doesn't this suggest that we are not adequately resourcing this rebalancing as we look at a time, as you've said in your testimony, that in fact China has increasing capability with regard to their submarine fleet and has continued to invest in their submarine fleet. So could you help me with that?
Well, I think you accurately represented what the future will be based on even building 2 a year.
Right.
Of course, when the CNO, I won't speak for him, but he's the guy who has to manage putting all the requirements into a fixed top line. And so it comes down to managing risk and finding where we can absorb risk inside the budgets that we're given. And unfortunately, I think that the best that they've been able to do, even at 2 a year, is what you just outlined.
Well, thank you, Admiral. I just think that people need to understand that this is going to be a significant decrease if we stay where we are with regard to how we're resourcing the overall defense budget, but also in particular our submarine fleet, when there are going to be greater needs, where countries like China are making greater investment, and where the value of our attack submarine fleet is paramount in terms of defense of the nation and also our presence in the Asia-Pacific region. So I think this is an issue we have to pay careful attention to, and it's one that we need to focus on. I also fully agree with my colleague about the value of our workforce that maintains those submarine fleets, but also the workforce that has the technical expertise and background. I'm very proud of the workers at the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard, but this is something that, as you described, is a treasure that we need to continue to invest in if we're going to have that capacity going forward.